Students, for our next topic, so we just simply briefly recapitulate the things that we have studied and the points that you need to remember in your mind while you are doing questions of sets. First, that the objects, elements, members, these three names are synonymous terms. Synonymous in the sense that these three are not different. These are the different names for the single entity. Yesterday I told you that the collection of notebooks. So notebooks are said to be what? The objects. So you call them objects, or you call them elements, or you call them members. Three of the names are same. These are given to the same entity. Second, sets are always denoted by capital letters. So you will always represent sets by capital letter. The name of the set, the representation of the set will be in the form of a capital letter. Second, the third, the elements of a set are represented by small letters. The elements of a set, like for example, if I say that class 10, now class 10 is what? A set. The students in class 10 are said to be what? The elements. Are you getting my point or not? Now every student's entity should be represented by a small letter. Every elements in a set are written using small letter. This is clear. And the fourth one, that the elements of a set are always redundant. Redundancy means what? That repetition of an element must not be there in the set. Now this is an important point to discuss. Like for example, if I am saying there is a set A, and in this set I need to write down 1, 2, 3, 4 and again 1. Say these are the scores or the marks obtained by student in a class test. Fine. So two students got 1 marks, one student got 4, one student got 3, one student got 2. So these are the marks of the student, and A represents the set representing the marks of the student obtained by them in the class test. So this set is comprised of these elements. So elements are written. Now when you are writing down element, you need to remember that one is already written one time. One is already written one time, so it should not be given chance to express itself once again. This is what I am saying about redundancy. Now there is a question mark. What if I write down the element repeatedly? Will they deduct my marks for this? Now I must say that redundancy is not a very strict criteria. If you are writing down redundant elements again and again, that shows your immaturity level. That shows that you know nothing about sets. So it's up to the examiner, I must say, that whether they deduct the marks or not. So I don't think there is some strict rule regarding this, but still I would recommend that you avoid the redundant elements. Try not writing down repeated elements. If you see that one element is represented once, so do not try to express it once again. Are you getting my point or not? So this is what we mean by redundancy. Now I have written something over here, you might be confused that what I have written over here. So our next topic is what? How to represent a set. So before that, please pause the video to note it down. So, well, in the next topic, we'll see representation of set. Now, sets are usually represented by two methods. The first one is called roster or tabular form. And the second one is called set builder form. So these are the two forms, roster and set builder. Clear? So before we move on to this roster and set builder form, let us first understand that what do they signify. Now see, this tabular form or roster form is basically what? This is representing each and every element independently. Suppose you are writing down a set and you are representing every element of the set independently. You are expressing each and every one of them. So this is what we do in roster form. And while doing so, we need to remember that every element must be separated by commas, so that we get to know that what are the elements exactly. And in case of a set builder, what we generally do, instead of representing every particular entity, because suppose if somehow the data is very huge and writing down each and every element of that is not possible, so we'll try to take out a criteria, we'll try to make out a story, we try to make out a mathematical statement. The statement's result should be hinting towards what? The elements. That you write down certain thing about the elements, by reading which I can say, I can get to know, I can visualize, I can understand that what the numbers exactly are, what the elements exactly are. Not specifically numbers, the set could be comprised of any particular thing. So that's why you can say that writing down a mathematical statement which will hint towards what? That what are the elements which are present in that set, instead of writing each and every one of them separately. So let us understand this thing. First of all, let us go with roster or tabular form. Now say for example, I need to write down numbers. There is a set A, which is having numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So suppose set A is having these numbers and I need to write down the set A. And this is basically what? These are the scores. There is a set which is representing the scores of the students in a class test. Okay, scores in class test. So I need to represent this in sets form. So I am using the roster form for this. I'll do. Now for this, the scores must be represented by capital letter. So I am using a set S. The set is representing what? The scores of the students in the class test. Clear? And in that set you will write down equal to sign. And then you will open this second bracket. Now till class 10 we used to call it second bracket, but now we will call it braces. We will call it braces. So you will open the braces and inside the braces there would be what? The elements. Now what are the elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you will write down 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then you will close the brace. Now this is what? This is set S. This is the set, and this set is comprised of 5 elements. And what are the 5 elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every element must be encapsulated inside this braces, curly braces. Inside the braces they must be there and separated by commas, so that we get to know what are the elements exactly. To distinguish between the elements you need to put this comma. This is how you will be representing the roster form. I think all of you understood. In case of a set builder form, you will try to make out a story of it. Think about what mathematical statement can I use that whose result will give me numbers 1 to 5. Now there are n number of ways to do so. One of the simplest ways I can show you, that suppose the set I am taking S. Now this set S, the name of the set is written in the same manner, whether it is roster or set builder. The name of the set should always be a capital letter. Then I will put an equal to, and then you will open the braces. When you open the brace, this is basically what? That you are starting to define the elements of the set. Now for this, every element of the set must be represented by a unique element. An element which is said to be an arbitrary element. Arbitrary. Now what does this word arbitrary means? Arbitrary means anything, any number, any entity. When you are saying any, so that means arbitrary. So we will take an arbitrary element. Let the arbitrary element be say x. You have taken an arbitrary element. Arbitrary element is x, suppose. This x is a kind of a representative. Just like we are having the monitor in the class. Every grievance of the student, every problem of the student are basically solved by whom? The class monitors. So the class monitors are nothing but class representatives. So this class representative here also, this is what? Elements representative. Clear? This is x. So x is an arbitrary element. Then we'll put this colon sign. This colon sign is read as such that. You will pronounce this colon sign as such that. You will not say colon. You will say such that. So S is a set wherein we are having an arbitrary element x such that. Now I will write down a story. The story is what? That x is greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 5. Greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 5. Now greater than 0, less than 5. Okay, not greater than equal to, we will simply write down greater than 0 because we are not having 0. So greater than 0 and less than equal to 5. But here 0 to 5 there are infinite numbers if I consider. So specifically I need to mention that I am talking about what? Either you can say all of them are naturals, all of them are wholes, all of them are integers, whatever you say. So you can say and x is a natural number. Then you will close the case. And x is a natural number. So you see, if anybody reads this story, the story will automatically point towards what? These numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So instead of writing down every entity, you can make up a mathematical statement, and that mathematical statement would define what? These elements. But you need to remember one particular thing in this case, and very important, that they should exactly hint towards these numbers only. Not more, not less. Specifically these numbers. So when you are writing down this thing, so you will write down a condition over here. That condition which will be depicting the story. And this condition should be defined by what? Another condition. Now these two conditions are necessary or not, it depends. Clear? It depends. So depending upon that, you will see that whether this natural number, integer, these kind of things are to be written or not. If it is mandatory, if you see, because it basically depends upon the question. Based on that, if you see that if it is necessary, you will write it down. But the main point that should be there in your mind always is that when you are writing down these things, you need to see that the numbers are exactly those numbers which you are trying to hint upon. It should not be more or less. Getting my point or not? So these are the two ways of representing a set. The more we do questions, the more understanding we would develop regarding this. Okay. Before that, let us understand one thing, that this is a natural number, whole number, integer. So these kind of numbers, basically we have conventionally defined these sets already. Now these are some conventional sets. So I am writing down those conventional sets over here. Now these conventional sets are what? N representing natural numbers. Then you are having W representing whole numbers. Then you are having Z representing integers. Then you are having Q representing rationals and R representing reals. These are few basically conventional sets which are already defined by mathematics. Okay, so you need not mention them. Everybody knows that these particular letters are specifically reserved for these kind of numbers. Natural numbers, whole numbers. So I don't think that I need to tell you what these numbers basically are. You just need to remember the name of the sets that we are using. And suppose elaborating a bit more. Natural numbers are never negative. They are always positive. So natural, whole, these two numbers are basically, they do not have any kind of differentiation a lot. But in case of Z, Q and R, you will see that they are much more differentiated into positive numbers, negative numbers, 0 and these kind of things. So if you are writing down z plus in the power, if you put plus, that means you are specifically talking about positive integers. If you write down minus, then specifically you are hinting towards the negative integers. Similarly, q plus positive rationals, q minus negative rationals, r plus positive reals, r minus negative reals. Regarding this, I'll let you know once we start doing the questions, we'll get to know regarding these things more and more. So before that, please pause the video to note it down.